right, boys and girls, today I want to talk about our lasting lesson for the week. And our lasting lesson this week is about doing the right thing for its own sake. So I want you to think back to our story this week. The Super Kids had the Super Kids bus, and it was a mess. It was dirty outside, inside, all around. The lawn was a mess. And they decided to clean it up because Tex McGraw was coming to town and there was a contest and they could win a prize. And so the Super Kids cleaned up the bus, they cleaned up the yard. How did it look after they were done? Yeah, it looked really nice. They had done a great job on it. But what do you think they would have done if they found out that Tex McGraw wasn't coming to town? That he was unable to make it for some reason? Do you think that they would have been disappointed? Yeah, I think some of them probably would have been disappointed. But you know what? I think some of them would have been thankful that they cleaned up the bus and that it looked nice and they had a great place to play now, even if the contest wasn't on and they couldn't win a prize. Um, how many of you guys do things maybe that you might get a reward for or something you do around the house that mom and dad might give you a prize or something for? Some of you might clean your room and you might get $1 for your allowance, or you might do your homework and you might get a special treat, or you might eat your vegetables and then you get dessert. There are things that we do that sometimes our mommies and daddies give us a little prize for doing to help encourage us to do them. But there are times that we don't get that. There are times in the classroom where Miss Godwin asks you to do something and she gives out Skittles if you're reading or if you completed your assignment and you weren't talking. And there are other times that I don't. But in those times where you don't get a reward from mommy or daddy or you don't get something from Miss Godwin, sometimes doing those things just because they're the right thing to do is important and valuable to you. So let's talk about like your homework. If Miss Godwin assigned you homework to work on your spelling words and you worked on them all week long, but you never got a prize from mom and dad, but you went into school on Friday and you got a 100 on your spelling test, that in itself is a reward because it shows that you worked hard and therefore you did well on your spelling test and you knew all the words and you didn't have to stress. Now, sometimes your parents may ask you to help clean up at dinner, put the dishes in the sink, or clean up the trash. And you know what? You may not get a reward for that. You may not get $1 or a treat or something like that. But you know what? The reward in that is that you're helping your family take care of your house and that it's clean and that you have a nice place to live. Let's think about eating your vegetables. How many of you guys like vegetables? Some of you do, and others of you don't. So let's say that one night you were told to eat your vegetables and you would get ice cream. Of course, you're going to eat them, right? Because you want that ice cream. But another night, your mom and dad just said, you need to eat your vegetables. And you really don't want to, but doing the right thing for its own sake means eating those vegetables because you know that they help you grow, they help you be healthy, they help your body do what it needs to do to play hard and have fun. And so you eat your vegetables anyway, even though you don't get ice cream. That's doing the right thing for its own sake, meaning doing things that don't necessarily get rewarded or recognized, but that they're good for you. And so I want you to think about that the next time you don't want to do something because you're not sure that you're going to get a reward or get something special, but think about the things that it could benefit you, the things that it could do for you that are good. Think about how nice it is to go into a clean room and go to bed and there not be toys everywhere. Or think about how it blesses your mom's heart when you pick up the dishes at the table. Or when you do your schoolwork and you don't give them a hard time because Miss Godwin's not right there to get on to you and say, oh, you got to do that page or you got to keep working. And maybe mommy had to go take a work phone call or daddy was working on his computer. Doing your schoolwork and doing the right thing is going to be important to them and it's going to bless their hearts in this time. So I pray that you guys would focus on doing the right thing even when there's no reward, even when you don't think anybody notices, doing the right thing for its own sake because it does have rewards. They just may not be candy or treats or prizes or money, but they're rewards of blessings and joy and strength that you get. And so I want you to focus on that this week.